Now we have another problem to do in section 11.3, and that's reading computer output for confidence intervals. And this one's going to give us a little bit of something to think about here. We have students in sample 1 are shown a positive evaluations of an instructor, and students in sample 2 are shown a negative evaluation of an instructor. Then all the subjects are shown in the same 20-minute lecture video given by the same instructor. They were then asked to rate the instructor using 3 questions, and a summary rating score was calculated. Were students' ratings influenced by the prior student evaluation? So the confidence interval output for the 2 programs below, right here. So there's StatCrunch, there's Minitab. So how many students were shown a positive review? And again, Minitab is where you get that information from. So the positive was group 1, that's 25. What was the average rating? It was 2.613 with a standard deviation of 0.533. Again, I can't ask you that kind of question with StatCrunch, at least not with this data, because there wasn't enough given to you here in this data output. But if I give you a different data output on top of this one, then maybe you could answer it. All right, now how many students were shown negative review? That was 24. The mean was 2.236. Standard deviation is 0.543. The next things. What does StatCrunch state as degrees of freedom? And again, I think some of these questions were changed from what they might have originally been. So if your notes didn't say this, then just put these in, because I wanted you to see the difference. StatCrunch claims that the degrees of freedom is 46.8. Minitab does 46. Close, and again, they were close before. It has to do with their slightly different calculation systems for doing it. Some maybe different settings that I had set up when I typed them in. That's fine. So hold on, we don't want to fill there. All right, so there's the degree of freedom on that one, and the degrees of freedom on the bottom one is over here, 46 down in the bottom right corner. All right, now what about the confidence interval itself? That's 0.067 to 0.687. Let me make a ring for it. I'll make it red. So 0.067 to 0.687 is right there. And I'll make it red. There you go. And then I'll make another one to put up here on the StatCrunch output, which is kind of more obvious than the Minitab output. It just says lower limit, upper limit. So 0.067 to 0.687 or 686. See the slight bit of difference between the two. And again, it's because they're calculating things just a little bit different from each other. So good enough. 0.067 to 0.688, 687, somewhere in there. Does this interval suggest that there is a significant difference between them? Well, just like earlier in this chapter, the answer is going to be yes, because 0 is not contained in our interval. Remember, if there wasn't a big difference, then 0 would be contained in the interval, because if there's not a big difference, then when you subtract them, you expect it to be around 0 for that subtraction. But 0 is not in this interval. That means that there is a significant difference, or it doesn't mean it for sure. It implies it. It implies there's a significant difference between professor ratings for students who are shown a positive and negative review. All right. We are done with section 11.4. I'll meet you back here for 11.5. Or excuse me, 11.3. I'll meet you back here for 11.5.